our everyday life and abroad, but in fact we know so little about this history of it.
So today we are going to say a few words about English.
That's why we have decided to travel back in time and learn about Old English and Middle English, the modern computer slang and the difference between the British and American English. The students of 9th grade will present us a sketch in which two students learn about Old English doing their homework. So, let's see it.
Hello, how are you? Why haven't you been at school today?
Oh, I'm a bit ill.
Oh, poor you. I hope you will go to school next week.
Of course. Can you give me our home task, please?
Yes, here is my school diary.
Thank you.
Oh, I forgot to tell you the news about our English exam. The teacher says that if we translate one strange English phrase correctly by tomorrow, we will get the best mark.
And what's the phrase?
Hades.
Oh, it seems rather difficult. I can't understand it. But we can ask my neighbor who lives the next door and who is a teacher of English in the university.
What a good idea. Let's go.
Good afternoon, Miss Weiss. Can you help us to understand one strange English phrase, please?
Oh, I'm glad you came to me. English, that is what I can talk about for hours. Do you know that English is the world's leading international language? It is the principal language in Britain, the USA, Canada, Australia, New Zealand, and some other countries. About 320 million people speak English as their first language. About the same as Spanish, but less than Chinese or Hindi. The total number of English speakers in the world is estimated to be about 460 million people, second only to Mandarin Chinese. But now English is the world's widespread language in the world. Now you can see some countries where English is very important language. So can I take a look at you? Oh, I think you have already understood that English hasn't always been the same. Do you know that not all the words from English belong to it? Borrowed approximately from 50 different languages, lexical units make up nearly 70% of the vocabulary of the English language, and includes layers from the dictionary, from vocabulary of the different periods. Here some students of mine who are now preparing the presentation, but the history of old English language. So I think they may help you with the task, and we can ask them some questions. Alina, you will tell us about historic Old English, Krisha will tell us about early Old English, and Masha will tell us about late Old English. Alina, start.
First, you have to know that the history of the English language begins with the invasion of the British Isles by Germanic tribes in the 5th century of our era. You can still notice the traces of Celtic in the modern European culture. There were several Celtic tribes, Picts, Scots, and Britons. It's very interesting to study borrowed words within the Old English vocabulary. We know only about 600 borrowed words. All of them come from Celtic and Latin. First of all, I want to tell you about borrowings from Celtic. We can find them only in place names as Thames, York, Dover, Kent, and possibly London. Some words contain not only Celtic but also Latin and German words. Here are some examples: Manchester and others. There are some other Celtic borrowings: straddle, dam, cross. Next, I'm going to tell you about Latin borrowings. We can divide them into two groups. The first group was brought by the new religion. There were many new concepts that needed to name: bishop, candle, monk, angel, idol, temple, and others. The second group connected with education because the language of teaching was Latin. Here are some examples: school, scholar, grammar, etc. Other borrowings from Latin Latin belong to different semantic areas. The names of plants and trees, the names of diseases and drugs, the names of animals, the names of clothing and household items, the names of dishes and food, and other words. Some words were created of the pattern of Latin words as their literary translation. Monday, the day of the moon, from Latin lunar dies. Let's have a look at your phrase. I'm sure it's not related to my period because there aren't any examples of writing of that period. My friend Ksyusha might have.
I'm going to talk about early Old English. The history of the Old English really started with the arrival of three Germanic tribes who invaded Britain during the 5th century AD. These tribes, the Anglo-Saxons and Jutes, crossed the North Sea from what today is Denmark and northern Germany. At that time, the inhabitants of Britain spoke a Celtic language, but most of the Celtic speakers were pushed west and north by the invaders, mainly into what is now Scotland, Wales, and Ireland. Through the years, the Saxons, Angles, and Jutes mixed with different Germanic dialects. This group of dialects forms what linguists refer to as Old English or Anglo-Saxon. The word English was an Old English English, and that comes from the name of the Angles. The Angles were named from the Anglo, where land of origin. Old English is more like modern German. Most substantial for forming Old English were his German lines in dictionary composition, structure of a sentence, and grammar. Inherited from a Germanic and general with closely related languages of continental Europe, as well as now West German languages of that time, where there declension of nouns in 5 cases: nominative, genitive, dative, accusative, and instrumental. Where there are also 3 grammatical genders: masculine, feminine, and neuter, and 3 grammatical numbers: singular, plural, and dual. Adjectives, pronouns, and participles are great with antecedent nouns in case, number, and gender. Here you can see the words came from the German.
So can a modern Englishman understand Old English?
No, because Old English is more like modern German and modern Danish. So can I have a look at the phrase? Oh, it's not my case. Your phrase is written in Latin alphabet. Maybe Masha can help. Okay, first you have to know that British Islands were ravaged by sailors from Scandinavia, first by Danes, later by Norwegians. Evidently, the Scandinavians have strongly impact on the English language. Around 878 AD, Danes and Norsemen, also called Vikings, invaded the country, and English got many Norse words. Vikings spoke of English, which originally at least was just as Germanic as Old English. And now you can see some examples of Scandinavian origin. Nouns and adjectives and some verbs. Written English is mainly known from this period. It was written in an alphabet called runic, derived from the Scandinavian languages. And the Latin alphabet brought over from Ireland by Christian missionaries. It has reminded the writing system of English. And now you can see runic and Latin alphabet. The vocabulary of English at this time consisted of an Anglo-Saxon base with borrowed words from Scandinavian languages and Latin, and many pairs of Norse and English words coexisted, giving us 2 words with same or slightly different meanings. And on the blackboard you can see some examples of this, of some of them. Some written works from this period have survived from Old English period. And the most famous of them is a heroic epic poem called Beowulf. Expert says Beowulf was written more than 1,000 years ago, and the name of the person who wrote it is unknown.
Did they help you?
Not so much.
Oh no, it isn't so difficult. I think your phrase is written in late English. I won't translate your phrase, but I will show you the way of translation. The late English language now is more popular than you think. There are lots of dictionaries and even the Wikipedia. I bet you've heard about Tolkien's book Hobbits, and even maybe you've seen the amazing film. So have you known that Hobbits in his book speak late English? Tolkien has even made his own dictionary, but it hasn't been published. So now I, using Wikipedia, will show you the translation, for example, this phrase. It sounds like that. Ich will Bujin Anna Bruneco. The first word, ich, it is pronoun and means I. Next word, will, it is a verb and means to wish, to want. Bujin, it is a verb to and means to buy. Anne, it means one. Brune, it is a color and means brown. And ku, it is a cow. And now we get a phrase, I want to buy a brown cow. So, as you can see, it is quite simple and everyone can do it. So now it's your turn. Use Wikipedia or even the dictionaries, what you like more. So, try. And while they're working, we can watch the with. I think it will be very interesting for you to hear how the English language sounds.
What we gardena I jardago, till kunninga frunge frunge, hos der everlinga cellen fremedal. Of shoot shaping children's red of monitor night of Mayusama. A soda eras, Susan erst where fellshift funde. Heitas frofri vad, wings and the wolf num vers minum sa. Als dat hin woestere unsittendra of a krumrad and huran shoulder gone by yildan, that was good kunning. Dan efter west south again the dong and yardan on the gods in the folket to frofra, furans after oja kati adungan alliaset lange wheel. Hintas Lifrea, Walders well and all out of Foria, Belf, West Bremer, that weed is sprung, Schilde Zebra, Schillandumi. Swasja jong Puma, goat bewilchen, from Umbel, Giftum and Vader Berna, van Hene on Ulde Efke Wonigen, Wilges Seeds, van the Wickume, Laudige Lasten, Loft uit Shell en Meistage Were. Manketea. Hinta sjukkoa to gesta wheeler, vela råferen and fredan were. He hynne da äfran to bremas farther, swans gesidas. Swahe selfa bad, den world of well, weene sjulliga, lär landströma lange achte. De avskjute stort skringen stefna, is I kon ut fos äfringes fär.
We have done it, and now we know what this means. Each means I. Can mean now how. Oi means you. Learn means to teach, but it doesn't make any sense. And I think it was the word order wasn't so strict, and if we changed it, we would get the phrase that means I know how to teach you.
I think you're right. So we've done it, and I think we'll get the best mark on the exam. Thank you so much. Thank you.